Are you all from the area?
You're from the Shank.
And I'm from Shankill.
I'm
The made
born in
Shankill. No, we're from
I
the
live
old
3
Park
doors
Road.
across. Just go across the pedestrian crossing,
That's
not
just the
straight 3 houses down after me. They tip up twice from here.
I was born.
Is it all right? You can talk anything.
Yeah.
Well, I crochet them all the blanket, all the grandchildren on your land the stuff, and you can pull a wee blanket. So I said, Jack, do you want a wee blanket? But he says, oh, the sin, you see, and here's me. The Liverpool red, mate. Here he, hi, Granny, on the good. So then he was sitting here, Granny, could you put blue in it, like red, white and blue? Well, all right, I says. So anyway, well, I done. It's about that height. There. So I brought it up on Friday and we came out of school. We come over and here me. Was that all right? And here he is. Now my God be my God. Here he is. Dee, 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 dee. And here's me, Jack. And here he is. Well, you know, Granny, I know what I was thinking. Maybe you could do a wee bit of green, white and gold on it. No, seeing my grand, I was a Catholic.
Very good.
Here's our Catholic. Jack, but I told her when she came back from her working here, she says, Jack, don't go into school and say that something, not some of them are like, you know,
that's
you
true,
like,
yeah.
but you do eat quite a bit cream and go sort of in the end, same the ground, and this ground is 28 years dead, they didn't even need him.
That shows you Chase thinking about it.
But we're all next hour, that's the thing.
Everybody's all
I have 8 children, and bought a wee house in Baden-Powell Street for £1,000. It was only 150 down,
We're rich
30
in them
shillings
days.
a
Yeah.
week. Nah, 40.
Half the thousand.
But anyway, so our ones were the mix. There was Catholics and Protestants,
Yes,
and then
we
the
all did
trouble was
that.
bad. Remember the trouble was bad.
Yes.
And anyway, our Marion, after 4 daughters, 4 sons, you see. So here now, if anybody's talking, say, we had to marry the same fellas in the same street. We weren't allowed out with them troubles. Now they're all 40 odd years married, thank God. They're all still together. I lived in 17, our Johnny's man, boy then. 19, Marion's number 42, and our Bobby, our Cherie, Bobby, her husband, 24.
All in
And
one street.
Our Billy's way chummed with them 3 sons, I mean, honestly. And they chummed with his way, but she only lived in Louisa Street, no, just in the next street to us.
Aye.
And they all married, all them, all married, Billy and them, they're all together all over 40 years. But that's what they'd say. We had to marry a wall of fellas out of the street, but we weren't allowed out of the street. Well, Tony and Marion had a double wedding in our church, so they're all together. That's
Yes,
the main
that's the main thing, they're all together.
Thank God.
And do you think it's very different nowadays that we have more?
Yeah.
Well, I think it is a bit.
What did you say?
Yeah,
It's
it's very
not as
different nowadays
solid.
that you have more choices of sort of like
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
marrying people from
Well, I
different
think it
streets
is
and
like.
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I have 4 grandchildren married to 4 Catholics now on my
Yeah.
own. As I say, I'll have a married parents. But the 4 grandchildren married to.
I don't have anything against my daughter. Was
No.
not a Catholic.
My
Yeah.
brother had it, he was a baker, and he married a Roman Catholic.
So did my brother.
And but he had to leave the baking because he worked in McCombs's, and then what you call the booked his, you know, the mix-up.
Yes.
Through buttermilk, and when he should have been using milk, so he had to go away, you know, and leave. And then she had to leave our down too,
Yeah.
you know, for.
A mixed marriage, you went through, like, kind of went through it.
And then she
At the
can.
start of the troubles. Yeah,
Tommy,
that was
Tommy slipped home one day, to see us, and before we got into the house, my daddy got a Union Jack, that one you know, with a wee thing,
Yes.
the one you hang outside your window, and he made Tommy stand with it and sing the Queen before he got in.
Oh! You're not strict then.
He was.
I know.
Well, we moved to Glenbrand then, and our Cherie, a woman says to me one day, do you know your daughter follows your husband to work every night? He gets on the bus. There's me, no. And I says, like, when? She says, I don't know, Sally. She says, but my daughter told me. She makes her go around with her till he gets on the... He worked in Glenbank, gets away at like an Ealer, 6 at night, 6 in the morning.
Yes.
And so anyway, when our Sheree came home,
Grand shift.
I said, Sheree, do you follow your daddy to work every night? And she was just, yes, Mum. Here's me why. And she said, because one night we were coming round and there was a woman in the Berwick Road that runs off far down there. There was a woman in Berwick Road and she said they had her tied to a lamp and they were doing what they done. Well, it wasn't Tower, but it was something. And she said, I thought it was my daddy, because her daddy was Catholic, you see. So ever from that, she followed him to work every night. Now, sure, he's still sort of nervy.
The time father
Nice.
gave you that with the surgery or anything.
But it showed you what people, but now they did get beat up one night coming down the old park, the Hillby Street, my mummy lived. He was coming down to collect us. And another night, anyway, when trouble started, everybody run out to their door. You know,
Yeah.
and we said, but you only run out your door to see. And my niece come run here, she says, oh Granny, tell my mummy, like, oh Granny, she says, the soldiers are coming to search your house. Here's my mum. The soldiers come to my house for. She says, no, all the wee girls hung around the soldiers. I don't
Yes,
know.
that's right, yes,
All the
that's right.
teenagers hung around the soldiers. And she says,
Used to go to
we were
soldiers'
ahead. She
dances.
says, we were all
Yes, I
standing
went
with
to
soldiers
dances.
at Louisa Street. It's just up the road there. And she says, I heard him saying, go to 30 at Hillby Street. Well, that was my mummy's address. So the right with the soldiers come, William Carmichael, my mummy says, William Carmichael doesn't live here, so that's my son-in-law. And he says, well, we have got word and we'll have to search your house. She says, but he doesn't live here, she says. And here's, well, like, and here's my mummy, we'll go ahead. Now Mary and Joni, as I say, they had a double wedding in the church and their two dresses were hanging behind the door on the hook behind the door. They went up the very wedding dresses and all over the house. And then they went up, Mom says, they live in 38 Glenburn Park. And now they went up and searched the house. But it seems some wee house club had opened on the old Park Road in the Catholic Inn, and somebody had given Billy's name.
Aye, that's
Oh, wow, they all did that.
Honest to God, and the bait night they got a beating up and broke his ribs and all. And Louise, that's just God's truth. And anyway, this girl was saying to Barry Bradshaw, you know Barry said, "You solely believe
dead,
Stella got beat up." She says, Haynes was telling me. And I says, was telling me. I says, well, you see, when you see her, tell her that was a fella that carried her shopping bag when she was pregnant. And he took her bags on the old Park Road and carried them down to Hillby Street to her house, where he's coming down. So it shows you the way people.
I know.
Yeah.
So they do, Chuck. Listen, see, years ago, you called it the police messages, but we all got them. And it was great.
Oh, it was great. We
You
listened.
just sat and you knew when the peelers were coming and where they were and all. You know, going around, say a house and all, or you know, going to all the shops and all. That was great.
They came to our door one night, the police. You're sending messages.
I know.
Billy says,
I loved
no.
it. You were up all
He
night.
says, well, he says, we're picking up. And
I know.
Billy says, well, wait a minute. And he shouted up, Sally, come here, bring that wireless down. I was in bed, you listen to
The bad
all what
boys
was happening.
knew to get out. You know they were going
Yes.
to
Just
read
wasn't
out, you know the
happening.
UVF.
Yeah.
They were all away because they knew they were coming. But you were talking about the mill. You know when you went in at first, they sent you for a bucket of steam. And you went and stood there, you know, waiting for a bucket of steam. And then another one sent you for a tin of tartan paint.
A long wait. A long wait.
And
long
then the
wait,
next
I
one
got
was a
that,
long
yes.
wait.
Because you were
I
14
done that
when you
to
started
everybody
working.
when you went in to serve your apprenticeship, didn't
I
I?
know. And then when you went to the toilet, you weren't allowed to run to the toilet. You had to hold your way in, you know, to get your thing. And then when you went in, if the nurse came in and seen you in the toilet, she was able, you know, to report you. And before you got in, you had to shout in, show your effing hoof. You know, your foot. And then they knew the shoes, and then opened the door and let you in. That's honestly. And then you shut your ears. Then a young fella joined, and I see him down in the bookies, his brother, and they stripped him, and you know, with an oil can.
No.
That's what they done.
No.
They did just with the oil.
Oh,
I still, watched it like I watched it.
She was getting a flush.
That's the truth. And then I worked in the Brookfield, and the wee man at the door, I was late. And the first morning I done it for a laugh. I walked in with a limp, through my leg. I had to do it every morning. That's honest to God, for they took the money off you. If you
Yes.
were late.
Ah, close
They
to
took
you.
it, if you were 10 minutes late, they took it out of your wages.
You didn't get in at all.
You shut the doors after 10 minutes, and anybody after that had to stand and wait till lunchtime, lose their morning's pay.
Or
Mackies.
was it done? See now, they're lucky, the kids, like.
They won't even go to work, some of them.
that's true.
And that's when you were 14.
I'm 14.
14 and
Now
20
they're
got
saying,
the
"Oh,
junior
he's only
mommy got
child,
the
he's only
job.
14.
The junior's my wee job, it's a wee job. And says, Evelyn Todd spoke for you at Rosebank. So Evelyn Todd was over at Cornwall for me that Monday morning, 14.
So who worked in mills in this group?
I only worked for a while because the nurse, my sister, went with a fella from Dundonald, and I didn't know they were related. You were able to come in and out of jobs anytime.
Oh, no problem.
No
Yeah,
problem. And my chum said, Mum, go up to the middle and get a wee job. And I went, but then they were saying that, put your effing hoof in. She must have seen me, but I didn't say that word. And when I came home, my dad says, where were you the day? And I says, in Rosebank. He says, has it moved? And my dad had a belt years ago, and the railway, remember you pulled it up with the leather? He cut that off, and he made toes out
Towels,
of it.
I got paid with towels.
And that's what he had,
True.
And then one time they were showing the blue lamp and the chrome, and somebody said, are you going up to see the blue lamp? And I says, no, I'd rather go and see a red one. Again, come in. Your leg, I thought you had the measles, that. And I didn't even know what a red lamp was. I said I shouted. The lamp, the red lamp.
And how long did you work in the mill for?
I was only in it about 3 weeks. For the food I was in it, and I was taken out of it.
We're trying to figure out.
What about yourself, was it?
The nurse told me.
I worked in it from, I was about 17 till I got married when I was 19.
Oh, I got married very young. Yes. And what was it like working there?
She was twins.
I am 62 years married. So it was okay, you had to, when you had to work, because you didn't
Your
jaws didn't
work.
Yeah.
The only thing I can remember is we were having a tea break when we allowed 10 minutes or something, or 5 minutes it was, and we were sitting, and do you remember Engelbert Humperdinck?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, he had brought out that, well, please release me.
That's right.
Well, we were all singing that. The foreman came up and he said, if you slack don't get back to work until he said, it'll all be released.
Very strict in them
Very
days.
strict.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I know.
Very
Yeah,
strict.
yeah.
You get away with nothing.
We have a very good job.
Brilliant.
Excellent, yeah. And what about the others that haven't worked in the mill? But do you know any stories or any family members who would have worked and they would have said something about working in the mills, about the conditions, or?
No.
Well, my mummy worked in the mills. My mummy worked in the mills for years and years. She had babies and worked in the mill, babies and went to the mill, and my granny worked. Basically, my granny worked where it is, but my mummy just had babies and went back to work in the mills for years. And it was very hard, like, and the conditions were rubbish.
I was. When I left Rosebank and said I worked with my chums, as I thought, and my mommy says, well, you go, you'll have to stay, because you'll hardly get back to Rosebank, but I did. But first day we were in the had a spinning mill, and the water was just all
remember my
over.
mummy telling
And
us
they
that.
these big
Yeah,
leather aprons with all pickers, you call them, big metal things, for cutting the yarn and all, and they just run about in their birthday. But now I was up in the reading room, I was reading that there, I had that wee picture up in the top, and that was reading the yarn round. But see, we used to go in, there was a wee woman sold wee bags of tufa. So we used to go down to that. I mean, the smell, but it was a yarn, jute and all they called it, you see, it was terrible. I don't know how them women done that, that's honest to God.
Mum used
And
to
the
tell us
spinning
stories
room,
like that.
like,
She was a
terrible.
weaver. So
She was a weaver,
She was
I was
a
a
weaver.
winder.
She was a weaver.
And what would you say?
Just as the conditions.
But
And she,
that was the factory, the weavers.
well, she worked down Lower Conway Street, Greaves's mill.
That was that. But
I
there's...
worked in those back at the weaving.
Mummy worked down Greaves's for years, so she did. But as I said, she used to come with all this pus.
There was no
Pus,
more
I was called it pus, like big balls,
You
a
call
big
that's
white
right.
fluff all over her clothes. No.
You had to clean your room all the time for the hamper. And you learned to do it while it was going, but you weren't allowed to do it. You know, the 2 weeks in
Yeah.
the belt.
I remember the shuttle, what it blew out.
The damask weaving was worse than the plain weaving, for you had big sheets and all the different threads and all of them coming up and down. And it was very, very noisy. You know,
Remember
very, very loud.
The shuttle would have flew out
If you put
sometimes.
2 shuttles in at once, it
Like a
died.
wooden thing, it would have flew out.
And then the things came down, you know, it was first and third, second and last, you had to pull them in, you know, and if it broke, that was all. But then a fella came and fixed it for you, you know, tied all the knots and put it together again. But I left that too.
You know, so some of you worked in the mills, other works in factories. You were saying it was Rosebank. There was not a mill, but it was a factory. What was it like working there?
Oh, it was good. Rosebank was
Got a
very
good
good.
laugh,
As I said, it was a winder. You know, you called them bobbins, were about that high. And then you put the big round and it went round and round, and then you took them off. No, it was good.
They were hard to
Back
clean
ribs.
then, you couldn't use a razor blade, you know, to get all the thread off, remember? You had
Oh,
to-
yes.
And if you used
And-
a razor blade, it made it rough. You know, you were using a razor blade. But in the weaving, there was a blue mark in it, and the looms were that size. And then you were able to put water on it, and the blue dye went down a bit. So the women used to take, you know, where that glue was, cut it, and then fold it, and then cut it again, and they'd wrapped it round them
And the scale.
to steal it. Or that I'd said to you, I'll buy you 5 figs if you get that out. You know, the blue dye.
No, they didn't do that.
But it was awful noisy. You learned to,
Aye.
you know, you could
Oh, it was
People have ear
terrible.
problems.
You
just
couldn't
like
miss
they
it.
all
All
have.
the time.
Yeah.
I have it now through that. Are you going for a fig? You knew all the things, didn't you?
And what about sort of like, you know, if we think about women, how women have lived in the local area for a long time, you know, a lot of them were working in factories and mills.
Everybody was your granny, Virgie, you know, wasn't it like?
Well, my granny married all of us, like, so she
Your
did.
mama.
I
Well,
worked
my
in,
mummy didn't work.
Did you not know?
I worked in Gallagher's for 15 years.
Oh, we had it sitting beside using a bus coming.
The Gallagher's, the tobacco one?
Yes,
Tobacco
Yeah, and what was it like
factory.
working there?
It's great. The money was everybody.
money
the money
was
was
great.
fabulous. Like everybody wanted to work in Gallagher's, and
Did
you
you
got
ever
your
steal figs?
never
No.
because you got the sack.
Sure,
No,
you got a free issue.
You got a
My
free-
two
a free
daughters
issue every
worked
week.
in
But
it.
they did sell the tobacco off the floors for my daddy bought it.
well, not to my knowledge. You know, I never bought any tobacco. No, you got the sack. Even like you were searched lunchtime.
And had it, but
You were searched going out and coming in. You were frisked right down to see if you had any cigarettes on you.
But they didn't do everybody. You got
No, you didn't do everybody.
You took
Like,
your chance,
you just took. Maybe you'd have wanted it. Well, then I was smoking, don't smoke now. But maybe you put one in your top pocket of your uniform, making hope for the best. Now they wouldn't have sacked you for one cigarette. You'd have got a warning or whatever. Like, but it was never caught. But yes, the money was brilliant. You got your bonus at Easter. Like I'm talking hundreds of pounds here, and then
Aye.
Christmas. My God, you got
Yes.
another bonus. Maybe 500 quid. Like that's in this.
That's amazing.
That was big bucks then. Like, and-
Yeah.
It already is, like big.
do you know what I mean? Like, it was brilliant, like, but
They have the poor and all that.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
one thing that I always remarked. Anybody that I knew that worked in Gallagher's were all good living. And they're all anti-smokers. Good living. Good living.
well,
Yeah.
my 3.
it wasn't me.
They
it
were
wasn't
doing
Gallagher's.
It's just in my... I
Well, anyway, we don't know the same people.
Well, you see, I lived on the Shankill Road, and then whenever I went to England to live for 10 years and then came back, and I'm still on the Shankill, only come up here, well, it's a long time ago now, but it was, when that sister of mine that died, she would sit and talk to me about this one and that one, and I'd say, well, where did she work? In Gallagher's. In Gallagher's. And no matter what name came up, in Gallagher's. Now, my sister's friend was the most devout Christian you ever met, wore the Salvation Army uniform, where she was a forewoman. In Gallagher. And that never fizzed with my brain. How could you be so against smoking and work making them?
And I was a packer. So
You weren't too
I can
bad.
never understand that.
I couldn't stand the smell.
I see when they're coming home in the buses, you'd have got off.
No.
probably the
I couldn't
tobacco, but
stand
there was a tobacco part too.
Yes.
That was they done the pipe
Huh?
tobacco and all
They
that
done
there.
the
That was
cigarettes,
that was
right.
stinking. That was really bad.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
the
the
cigarettes weren't too bad. Like, but I used to pick them and all. But
All I knew went to pub and all with me. All
all I lived for was buying clothes and going to the dances. That's what I lived for.
Yeah.
Because you had loads of money. You were going to the town. You stopped at 1 o'clock every Friday. You went into town. You bought yourself a new outfit and all the rest of it, and then went out, had a few drinks and
Yeah, have fun.
had
Were the dances here or in town?
in the
down
town.
the plaza.
And the boom boom rooms and the abercorn and oh my God.
And the fellas then asked to leave your home, and you'd have said, you wouldn't have said you left so too far away. You always said, I got round the corner, or you wouldn't have left your home then. Too far to walk. And then at one time a Roman Catholic left me home, and then I liked him, I left him back again. down to the market.
Good on you.
As we're talking about dances and happy things, so we're talking a little bit about cinemas.
Then I remember at a dance when the Yanks came in, and it was terrible. It was like,
They all went to the plaza. All
I
the
went to the
and then
Did you go to the plaza?
Every
My
time
sister's
I
friend.
was the Yanks were in, my friends all used to go into hysterics. I've got a big black man. Did I ask me to dance?
But that's
And I stopped going.
A bad name because he hangs on.
Yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't like that at all.
And
like.
then my brother came in one night and he says to my mother, but no way, they had the gentleman's thing at the corner of the street where all the men stood and talked. Court, the men's court, you called it. And he came in and he says, Mother, stop them two going to the plaza. The Yanks are in and they're bringing drugs and everything in. So my mother said, when we came in that Saturday night, now you're not going again. You're staying in or going to somewhere up local. So the next Saturday night, Mabel sat there and I sat here. And my mummy kept looking at the clock and saying, you're not going out? No. No. Why are you not going out? Because you stopped us going, we only go to the plaza. I see the next week he says, get your coats on and go.
What was the wee song you used to
the
say?
Yanks are coming.
The Yanks are coming, they're looking for a woman.
It's on the night. I hope there's no Yanks looking for us. The fellas in Belfast were a bit jealous of them, so they give you fakes. Camel, you called them. And the nylon
Camel.
stockings.
Aye, nylon.
And stockings. But my sister worked in the bell tax, and we got, she got them there, so we had to go out with the Yank. I didn't go to Plaza much. I went
I was only
around
out
still.
twice
No, I
ever.
was only
My
out
sister
once.
danced down on the lot. My two sisters.
There was no drink or anything.
No,
You
no way.
Had a cup of tea.
There was
The
a
only
bar,
drink there
Or a glass of
there
milk.
was
There's
a
no
bar
alcohol.
at the last.
No.
There was a bar in the Alhambra Picture House.
Oh, don't know. I didn't go to London.
Because that used to be a show. That used to be where they put the shows on. The Alhambra and the one.
The Empire had shows.
Yeah, but there was one. What do you call the one at the corner of the Grosvenor Road and the Boyne Bridge? That picture house. It had an upstairs bar, and that's where you knew if there was a bar in the cinema. Then originally, that people drank in it. It was more like a showplace. It wasn't a picture house. Coliseum. Coliseum.
No, it's not.
That's on our list, isn't it? Crazy.
Is it?
No, it's good. What about cinemas then? Do you have any? We talked a lot about kind of like the back seats and the memories of the back seats.
You pointed out the picture. You
They're
pointed the
fun.
picture out of the
Amy
government
was
road
also
on.
on the double seat.
The forum, That's what they say, you learn to breaststroke as well. And that's what they said when you were a kid. Are you going up to the breaststroke?
And the Broadway had double seats, and so did the park.
The forum.
They had
They
the
were
forum
double
too. And I don't think I was ever in the forum.
So they all had the double seats, or
at
just
the
some of
back,
them?
all at the
The
back.
back ones?
Along the back.
It was only the back.
It was a race to get in, wasn't it?
We
Ian?
didn't sit in the seats, we walked around.
see the picture?
And then, see, it was terrible going to the toilet when you were with a boy, wasn't it? For you had to walk away down and see her with a torch, and I put the torch on and follow you know, down to the ladies, and then, you
We were
know,
all so naive.
I used to
in them
do-
days too, weren't we? Like, we were all
that's
so
right.
naive.
I know.
Where was it?
You know,
I was sitting at the back of the stadium with the boy, and my chum was sitting there with him, and he took a bar of chocolate out, and he gave me a square, and he put it back. And I came home.
That's what he
No,
got
then I went
all.
into the whorehouse. And Edie Sturgeon's ma said to me, "Where's my Ada?" I said, "Sitting up in the stadium with two boys." But I'm not going back, I'm not going back. He lives in Cumber now. He lives in Cumber. And you should see him now. It's me, thank God you only give me a bar of square. I wouldn't have been.
Sure, we went workers, Dallas come in doing outside work. And of course I got Brandy with Dal, but I was going with Billy, like, about. So anyway, Dal asked me out.
2 times
And we
salad.
came to this Crumlin picture house, sitting up in the back, and I went to look and Billy and I was sitting down in front of all the mates and all. And I said to Dal, excuse me. And I went out, supposed to go to the toilet. I went down and see when I went into work the next morning, got for camera. And here's me, I wasn't like, don't do that on my brother, like.
Yeah.
I couldn't look at the fella.
I'm sure you
So he
couldn't.
paid him away.
You left.
And that was this Crumlin picture house here.
The Crumlin Picture House, when you went round that side of it, see, there was a
Yeah,
bar.
right.
There was a bar came down.
Down in the hall.
Wasn't it lovely? And you got beside you, somebody you fancied.
Mm-hmm.
And then the big crowd came and squeezed you
Squeeze
into
you
it.
out.
did not in the stadium.
Then I done that.
Oh, no, I like the farm. We went to the farm and then the fellas.
She loved the double
Halloween night.
seats each other.
Halloween night they came with fireworks and through them we all run and then they all got into their places.
Then when you had to open the bar in the back door, they get them for nothing.
Yeah.
Uncle George. He had to throw you out one
I
night.
remember. And this cap about him.
It was a big
Fancy
man that
that.
done the door at the Crumlin Picture House, wasn't it?
George, he
big
called him.
man.
George. Uncle George.
Why do you all remember him?
Just,
I remember him.
just because he was such a big man and very strict. You don't put your foot out of place.
You see out.
They only showed cowboy films near
See,
them.
that's why they called it the ranch.
The ranch.
Now,
And
Elizabeth
then
says
you rode
there's
the
a
horses
room
and
up
all,
there
you know, in the
called
ranch. You rode the horses and all, you showed,
That's right.
I remember going to the wee shank, the wee one on the corner in Northumberland Street with my two sisters, and the horses were coming, and I bent down, I was screaming, and then till I grew up. And for years they kept me going about that. The horses are coming, man.
there was mantles in the pictures in the wee shank, there was mantles, you know, glass
What about the
mantles.
sailors and the Flash Gordon and all?
I know all Saturday morning, him with the cross. And then the Gator, that's the one down North Street, wasn't it?
The bug house.
See that? You had to put good heavy shoes going, full of poo. Honestly.
Take off your shoes.
Full of people went to the toilet and all, you know, the fellas and all.
On the floor?
Yes.
There's a Lord.
You used to say there was a rainbow. That wasn't on the film, it was on the floor. You know the rainbow?
I'm
That
sure
was
it was
stink.
stinking.
Well, them days the people weren't working all and they give you sandwiches. But see, we were all bakers. I could have given bread. And you got sandwiches and a bottle of water and you went down there, while their mummies maybe, or their grannies were all at work and all, It was always full of kids.
What do you call the wee one in
Smithfield.
Smithfield?
Forget, I was trying to find that out the other day.
It was a bug house. You couldn't have went into it.
Francis, do you remember the Clonard picture house?
I remembered.
No, I think I can
I was on the Falls Road.
I used to go to it all the
So
time.
did I.
I went
And
to
the one
Hips.
facing it, there was a clonard at one side of the falls, and the
It was on the corner.
Yeah,
Ah.
and directly facing it was the other one. And then when you went down Albert Street a bit, there was another picture house. With me living in the bottom of Northumberland Street, I was nearer to the falls than the Shank.
Same as me, I lived in the bottom of Conway Street.
Yeah.
I was near to the falls.
Yeah.
And we used to go
Did
on
you
the
ever go to
falls.
Hips?
No,
The dance?
no.
I went with my Sunday hat and all on. My dad thought I was in church. I was in the Hips dancing away.
Oh, you bad girl. Just blow you right.
I went to Coaches Street. You went in clean, came out dirty. Fully oily.
No, I never went to that place.
What? Did you not?
I never went to on places, no.
Right.
And would you go to the cinema very often, or was that like once a month or once every 2 months?
No, went Saturday
2 or 3
mornings.
times a week. I would have like come on.
Saturday mornings was a ranch because
Yes,
there was
came
Sam, what do you
every
call
Saturday.
him? He came in a big horse and done an axe.
Sorrow.
So, and all used to ride horses and all
Roy
had their
Rogers.
little chairs and all.
Roy Rogers.
No, you know it, right?
High ho silver.
Yeah, the Lone Ranger.
That's
That's
right.
it.
It was all the same
I'm
picture.
glad you didn't live in our day.
No, it was good. It was
There's so
good.
much happening up here.
But it was good, but like, okay, it was good fun, like,
It was, yeah.
wasn't it?
Well, it was
I think, like,
fun.
You
Yeah.
know, used to
Get a lot.
tie
Poor but happy.
see
Yes, that's
anybody
right.
anybody left on their own, but got thread and would have tied it to their knocker
Yes.
and let the wee bit up and then wrap their door and let the thread out when they were at the
When they
door.
ordered
And they were looking everywhere and then we shut the door again. They shut the door and then we done it again.
That was their
Knock the door.
Open the door.
Knock the door. Ron.
And then I was treating there, open a woman's door and look at her fire and run out again.
See, where St Luke's Church was in Northumberland Street. It was like a castle around the, you know. So we used to hang over and rattle and then hide behind the big stones that they couldn't see you. And they were coming out furious.
done that on Emmons and I. They'd be out to beat them.
Yeah. We out with a brush. On
I
head.
lived in 43rd Street, and you know that our front door, it never was locked.
Our door was
Ever.
I know.
Ever,
No,
that door was
nobody
open
locked their
24/7.
Our door was
Even us in
our
bed, no,
door
our
was
door was
never
never
locked.
locked.
There was a big,
Never.
there was a big policeman, a really big tall one, and he used to come and he used to open my mother's door and shout in, awake the house. And my mother used to shout, "Well, you've left your door open now." She
Up the
says,
Broad Street.
the 2 girls aren't in yet. And he says, "Oh, wait, I'll watch them coming." And could you see them doing that now?
No,
And
no.
they used to, this big one, he must have been about 6'7", and he used to help put the kids their ropes up the lamps. He didn't have to climb around, he could do it. And now, even years later, they weren't allowed to swing on the lamps.
No, you're not allowed to swing the lamps now.
Billy, my husband is there. He borrowed his brother-in-law's on the trams, and their coats in big leather. And there's a big leather cuff on.
And a wee
So the
bag.
child cleans knows you always tell you a trammy man's cuff. But Billy borrowed Seamus's coat anyway. And here somebody shout, "Here's a police." It was in Butler Street, and there's a big nail hanging, and he put Seamus's coat on it, you see, so they run with the pillars. And he says the next thing their door rang, and the mammy opened the door. "Yes, is this your coat?" So they were took to court, taken football in the street.
What do you call the policeman on the motorbike?
Turned off.
Drango
outside.
kid.
That's the one, Francis. That's the one. The
See
Drango
when,
kid.
see when the
Here comes the
fellas,
Drango
Everybody was
kid.
terrified of him. Do you remember him? Billy? Everybody was
Oh,
terrified
see,
of him.
No.
see when the fellas were
Everybody
playing,
won.
you know, pitch and toss,
That's
and all the
all.
money in the middle, you only had to shout his name, they all run, and there's a pile of money for you for that.
And then they seen who it was and they run after you.
It wasn't me done it.
He
was
took
another
no
guy.
nonsense, but the Drango kids
That's
really
right.
took no
And
nonsense.
then it was Karen Duff.
Don't know him.
And he didn't. He took my rope off it and cut it up, and then told my dad. And I was afraid of my dad.
I think we're all afraid of our dads and
Yes.
My dad, that's dropped.
Toes, we called it. My granda when he was finished with his razor, no, he used to sharpen
Cutthroat,
the
you know,
nail.
cutthroat.
But then they give you, said
Strap.
my mommy, when you cut it and beat, then you had a nail, you hung it on, so if you got a slap around the leg. I'd say the Jack was the toes was here. There was one day, what was the toes, Gran? I said, your granda's shaving. Well, my granda's shaving thing.
Shaving
And the
belt.
wee thing.
Your
It's
dad,
better than a cane.
your dad stole that out of a railway garage and made that, and then he hit you for being dishonest.
No, where's the logic in that?
I
Like,
know,
you know?
that's what I mean. I know when you grow up, you think
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I seen him cutting it off a railway carriage. That's what they used to pull the windows out.
Yes.
And he cut it with his
I didn't know
cutthroat.
that.
Yeah.
And you see the graveyard, sure you know the big one as you went through the gates, that's where they all sharpened their razor, you know, their cutthroats. That's where it comes down and you should take a photo of that.
Which
That's where-
graveyard?
Shankle, that's where the men all stopped. Do you remember that and done that? The sharpening,
I watch sharpen
the cutthroats.
cutthroat razors.
And that's where them men now are doing the shaving with the cutthroats now. You know, them Turkish men or whatever you call them.
Oh,
We could be here, I think, all week.
Yeah.
So much.
tell.
Maybe like if we were just to wrap up and to think about, you know, you have moved to the area, so you weren't originally from here, but you moved. But everyone who is from north, sort of like / West Belfast, if you were to summarise the area in one word, which word would you use?
It's changed.
That's a tough question.
It has changed. Big time.
Or summarise your memories.
Well, I would say very happy memories.
I've happy memories.